What's up, Leafs fans, and welcome to Leafs Digest. Goody and I are back breaking down Game 10 of the regular season. The Toronto Maple Leafs defeating the Vegas Golden Knights 4-0 in a what can only be described as a dominant win. Goals from Mitch Marner, 2 from Austin Matthews, and then capping it off was William Nylander. A shutout performance from Jack Campbell with 26 saves in net tonight. Goody, the Leafs came out flying right from the opening puck drop. It's been something that we've kind of been concerned with this team about in the past little while, I guess, essentially until really the last couple of wins that they've had here. It's something you start to feel comfortable about it when they start to open a game that way. You open it up with full of energy, bringing it to the other team right away. It starts to make you feel good about the team, about the chances of winning that night, and then you open it up leading the game with a goal from Mitch Marner. This team is starting to feel like they're coming back into form again. I know we've played some teams that are not as good, and then Vegas being depleted tonight, but still, what do you take away from this win?
Yeah, the Leafs, they flipped the script a little bit tonight. We definitely came out strong, maintained the lead, and our top guys got it going, which is definitely the hot takeaway from the game. Marner not only getting on the board with a goal, but a highlight reel goal at that. He's still not ripping shots from beyond the dots, but at the same time, he's got the touchback. He seems dangerous, and that's something he hasn't seemed in a long time. So just the visible confidence of Mitch Marner. We always say he's an infectious player. So when he's out getting opportunities, his line mates are as well. And I think that Willie and Austin look great as a duo tonight too. So all around great stuff from I don't know. I think I could throw Jack Campbell into a top 5 player on our team right now. So 4 of our top 5 guys really showed out. And that's a change that we needed to see in order to get some more wins. And the Leafs are at 3 straight right now.
Yeah, it really started to feel like those guys actually just came alive. Like, it wasn't just a little flash of, okay, they grabbed a point here or there. It was, okay, no, they are actually back to play. And you really noticed it with Marner, especially from that first goal, which, that's a blatant, full sirens going off, letting you know that he's kind of feeling himself again. But it's really evident when that happens, because I think a dejected, kind of sad Mitch Marner, I guess is the only way to put it, that we've seen in games prior leading up to this one, before he had scored in last game, he's not going to try that. And for him to do that tonight, that's the Mitch Marner that we've come to know here in Toronto. That's the kind of, for lack of better words, magic that he does on the ice, dancing around, doing little spinoramas and tucking pucks in like that. But it also comes from, and I think it's great that he did that, and he does create those things for himself. He does put that goal in and make that highlight reel goal happen, but it comes from his line playing really well too. You look at that play, it's a nice forecheck by Tavares and Kerfoot. It ends up on Tavares' stick. He makes a beautiful pass to Marner out front, who caps that goal off. And as you said, those top 2 lines, they looked really, really good tonight all around. All 6 guys of those units looked very, very good.
Yeah, it's a great change. It was a needed change. And the interesting thing about the Leafs trajectory right now is it doesn't seem like they ever at one moment just flip the switch. It's been like a gradual recollection of your confidence, It didn't just happen where the Leafs were cold and now they're hot. It took some grueling efforts to finally get into the winning column here and then to stay in the winning column. And we're finally at the point where we're creating distance early in games and holding on to it. So I think it's been a pretty steady upward trajectory for the Leafs since the one point they were at when we opened the season, where things were just complete panic button. But we're calmed down now. Vegas, I don't think, had all their players, and nonetheless, they're not at a great record at the moment. But still, they're better quality competition than some of the other teams that we beat so far. So definitely happy about this effort tonight from the Leafs, and just to see the top guys score again. That was definitely, like I said, the hot takeaway. And Justin Hall staying on the bench, I've continued to love it.
Yeah, not even on the bench, dude. In the stands,
healthy.
yeah, in a suit. But yeah, you did touch on it. Vegas was missing some guys and key pieces in that, and Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, and William Karlsson, just to name a couple. But regardless, you can't knock the Leafs for something like that, for a win like they had tonight. If they just squeaked out past Vegas, I don't think we're sitting here feeling as good or as confident or as comfortable as we are. And I understand the entire fair weather comments that people may make if you're going to sit here and say, that we're so excited about tonight's win, but you can only play the opponents put in front of you. And when you have an opportunity like this to play a depleted Vegas team, missing some of their biggest guys, if you're going to be one of the best teams in the NHL and you expect to be dominant, you have to come out and dominate in a game like tonight. You don't allow the other team to come into the game and have a chance. You don't allow the other team, no matter whether they're a good team and they're missing guys or they're just a bad team in general, to drag you down to their level of play. And from the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, that's exactly what we saw, is them just playing Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. They didn't play an injured Vegas team at an injured Vegas level. They played their brand of hockey. They took it to Vegas all night. They limited chances. It was evident again with not only Jack Campbell's play, but just the play of the defense all around, holding Vegas off the board completely. But it was throughout everything they were doing. Power play was looking good. The puck was moving around well there. The penalty kill is one thing that I've noticed this year specifically, and I'm not sure if it's something that I've just kind of gone unnoticed in years past, but they look very aggressive. They jump on guys right away. They create chances. And there you go again, too, is Mitch Marner creating chances for himself on that penalty kill. But when we're talking about special teams here, one of the things that I do want to mention, and it's going to be my power play of the day. So before we get into yours here, I just want to jump on that. So my power play of the day is actually going to come from the power play, and my Poppy power play of the day is going to be Poppy, I don't know, Giddy, I screwed up every time I go to say it. Austin Matthews' goal on the power play, the assist from William Nylander, just great play all around. That power play finally gets themselves on the board. Maybe they can get some mojo going, but William Nylander essentially is looking off Austin Matthews coming in down that far side on his strong side. He's looking shot, and he just rips tape-to-tape pass to Matthews as he's coming down towards the slot. Matthews grabs it real quick, release, just a perfect shot, perfect goal. That's my power play of the day. It's just a beautiful goal, and it's another one of those things where you get to see a guy and say, okay, that guy is feeling himself again. That guy is back. That is an Austin Matthews best goal scorer in the NHL type goal right there. So that's my power play of the day.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I was debating between the two that I ended up narrowing it down to, but ultimately I got to give it to Marner. I drag him through the mud a lot. So to have him come out and do things that resemble confidence and creativity like we've come to expect from him, I got to give him his flowers on a night like that. So Mitch Marner, he's the Poppy power play of the day for me. That's my pick. Towing it in front of the net. Like, I guess he spun around.
It was like a half toey, half spinorama.
Yeah, exactly. To integrate the two and then get the goal. Awesome stuff. And definitely help propel us to a great rest of the game and winning 4-0. But shouts out Jack Campbell as well. He had some great plays and gets the shutout tonight. It's always like the Leafs are notorious for a lot of things. And I think blowing shutouts are definitely one of them. So it's nice to see Jack Campbell get it.
Well, one thing, too, that I've noticed often in the past, and we're obviously reacting to tonight's game against Vegas, but just to touch on it a little bit, is that it's very rare to see games from this team where both ends of the ice are performing at peak performance. And what I mean by that is we often get games where we score a lot of goals. We score 5, 6, 7 goals, but we're having to combat that with 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 goals against and winning a game in an absolute shootout. Or we go the other way and you have a goaltender who absolutely stands on their head and we lose like 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, but our goaltender made 50 saves. And it's rare with this team that we've seen it all come together in that kind of sense and just put together a 4-0 win. So to see all ends of the ice come together tonight and actually do that, it's great on the stat sheet. It's great in the standings. It's great on the schedule. And we end up actually pushing ourselves into fourth in the Atlantic tonight with that win and Detroit's loss to the Habs. So just all around feel good. One thing I do want to touch on here, though, and it's just kind of a minor thing, but I do want to shout them out because that Kampf, Kasha, Engvall line, I just have to say, like, if they aren't a line that you notice as being very good in a game, they play very quietly. And I think for a third line checking line, that is the best thing you could ever ask for from them. Like, when they are not playing so well that you notice them of how good they're playing, if you just don't notice them, that is perfection. Like that is the best thing you could ask for. It's like your third D pair. If you don't notice them because they're not doing anything, perfect. That's the best thing you could ask for. So I want to shout that line and point that out because I've been really happy with them since they came here. Kampf just continues to be a defensive presence, winning draws. Kasha is real good on the defensive end, and Engvall kind of seems to have a spot. Like he fits well with that line. He's not the greatest player, still does things that bother you a little bit, but he fits well with those guys.
Yeah, no, I've defended Engvall. The efforts and the I guess the discipline on the line's always been there. He's not as talented as a lot of other guys we have in the lineup. Probably, I'd say for sure our least talented player. I know Camp doesn't have a ton of, in terms of like hands. I
Him or
guess you could
Justin
say,
Hall,
but
who's less talented?
Justin Hall, he
Yeah.
doesn't belong on the ice, but they've already figured that one out. I do
Yeah.
like the third line from that checking standpoint as well. Them being quiet doesn't mean anything. I mean, it now, especially with the big guys rolling, that's okay. They can stay like that. They can continue to bite off matchups and just go out there and grind hockey. So I personally love the way they've played. I think Kasha is someone who's really surprised me, and we knew he was going to be good so long as he ended up being healthy. And fortunately, he's been healthy. So we're seeing that pay dividends for the Leafs in that third line. And just to speak a little bit too on, you were talking about, it's rare to see a great defensive effort aligned with a great offensive effort and a nice goaltending night. So that even relates back to what I was saying earlier about, we had that game against Chicago where it looked like we were going to lose. We just tie it back up, goes into overtime, managed to win. And then it
Yep.
just keeps getting a little better, a little better, a little better from there on. I love that the Leafs have built on momentum. This is
Yeah.
something that's not just, by fluke, it's calculated. They're building on their little mini victories here, and it's paying off. And now the last 3 games, at least, of the season, which they've won. So hopefully they can keep things going. And Philly, you kind of hawked a few different lines this game. You scoped out some bets and hit all of them. Read those off for the followers.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just pull up some of the lines here real quick, just so that I can make sure that I get them right. But yes, so I threw down 3 bets on the game tonight. I had Austin Matthews anytime goal scorer at plus 115. That hits. Austin
Boom.
Matthews over shots 3.5 minus 175. That hits. And then the final
Boom.
bet that I threw down was the Toronto Maple Leafs puck line minus 1.5. So they have to win by 2 or more at plus 130, and that one hits, and I went 3 for 3 on the night. So Goody, say it.
And they gave you 4. Boom.
Yeah. So pretty good night in the bets. Pretty good night for the Leafs fans in general. Pretty good night for the big. I don't know. I guess the big 4 all around, because even though Tavares didn't have himself a crazy point night, his line looks good. Mitch Marner looks good. That line, I'm pretty confident in them. I like seeing Kerfoot on that wing. The first line, obviously humming along. Austin Matthews, 2 goals. William Nylander, a goal and an assist. Michael Bunting grabs himself an assist, and he continues to look good. Last thing I want to ask you, Goody, before we get to our grades, how do you feel about Michael Bunting on that top line? Are you still, because I'm pretty happy with him there.
You got robbed tonight. There was a few opportunities,
Yeah, I
credit to
did.
Robin Leonard, where like the puck got behind them and they figured out a way to stop it. So the Leafs could have even been could have even been up way more than they were. And Michael Bunting was a part of that, just looking for garbage rebounds on the doorstep
Yeah.
where we want him all night. I love that he's got a little bit of a rat in him. That's going to help him
He's
stay
got
in the
some
lineup,
jam.
prove his worth. He does have jam, and it comes from his desire to play NHL
Yeah,
level hockey for the Leafs. And I
agreed.
mean, fans eat that up. I'm a big fan of Bunting, and I still don't mind him in the top 6 at all. I hope he just stays there all season. And
Agreed.
one last question for you, Phil, because
Yeah.
this was something I heard a little bit in the post game, and we both had very high hopes for Matthews. I think I was a little bit more toned back in my projection for him, but still
Okay.
high hopes, hoping I was wrong. But the last person to win the Rocket Richard after scoring 1 goal in their first 6 games was Teemu Selanne. I think it was in 1999. Do you think there's any chance we see Matthews be the next guy to do it this season? Can he get that hot?
Can he get that hot?
Will he? I guess. I'm also curious for everyone listening right now. Comment it if you're at this point in the video and you got an opinion to share. Let us know. But Philly, is this realistic?
I'm going to say, can he win it this year? You know what?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I do think he can. And I'm not sitting here saying yes because I'm saying he will. I'm saying yes because I think he can. And like I think those are two different answers. But like you look at a game like tonight, and the guy puts in 2 goals. That first goal, that's the first goal we've seen him score this year. That was Austin Matthews. You know what I mean? Like he scores a lot of other goals that are the wraparound against Freddie Anderson or the little rebound later in the game tonight for a second goal. But that first goal that he scored tonight, that is Austin Matthews. That is an Austin Matthews goal right there. And to see him do that and be able to pick that corner, when that puck goes in, that is one of those moments where it clicks for everyone. It clicks for Matthews, his line mates, the power play unit, Sheldon Keefe, the fan base, Kyle Dubas. I don't even anybody else watching this team. It's just one of those moments that's like, there you go. He's got it again. Because we kept seeing him whistle pucks by the net by an inch or two, missing here and there. And it's like, okay, he's going to just tune it up a little bit. And then that one goes in and you're like, he's got it. And he can just continue to have games like that where he puts up, I don't know, maybe he rolls out against Tampa and he just grabs one. But he still sneaks by and he just grabs 1 goal. And then he rolls into a game against Boston and okay, maybe he grabs 1 and then he misses 1 the next game, but then he's got 2. And this is a guy who could just continue to pump along. The only reason why I don't sit here and say he will is because Alex Ovechkin is still in the league, and that animal has 9 goals already this season. I think Austin Matthews is a better goal scorer than Connor McDavid, but Connor McDavid only sits 4 ahead of him, so I think that's easily catchable. But a guy like Ovi sitting at the top of the list with 9, like, that mutant is just crossing sauces in his pregame meal. Who knows, on the Russian gas. It's scary. It's scary. That's where I sit here, and that's why I can't confidently say he will win it, but I do think he can win it. Goody, what do you think about it? Can he win it?
We're on live stream right now. I do like a subscriber total, and I'd say if we can get there, then I'll put a bet on him to go and win the Rocket Richard right now, because those are probably some pretty good odds. I'd imagine he's nowhere close to being favored. I mean, for clear statistical reasons, but Matthews, when he heats up, man, he's red hot. Like he doesn't seem satisfied unless he gets like 2 goals a game when he's in this really hot, just all over the ice kind of state. And I feel like we're about to head in there collectively as a team. So I definitely think it's possible, which is a hot enough statement on its own, but likely probably not. But it could happen. And if the whole team can remain sort of consistent in their effort and we get more wins, then I would take that possible to even like considerably, I don't know, considerably possible at that point. Okay. You know, I really do think that this isn't out of the question. He's that good, but I'm with you. I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's possible. I think that he can do it. But I can't wait to see what he does in games coming up. Before we get to our closing here, I just want to give grades on the game. You and I have been harsh on them, even in wins that they've had over the last little while. So before we close this one out, let's cap it off with some grades. All right. I'll let you start this one off because I find it kind of interesting. I write my grades down before we come on here, and the amount of times I've come on and you say the exact same grade or 1 lower than me or 1 higher each time. So I want to see where you're sitting at before I give my grade of this game.
It will be close, if not the same again. I'm going to go A+. I just think that this is as close as you get to the perfect game, man. You know, especially with all the expectations coming into this one. The Leafs needed their top line to get going. I mean, happened a little bit before this game, but it's been the story of the season. We want to see our top 6 play like our top 6. You got that tonight, and we got to see our first vintage Matthews goal. Like we were discussing this early in the pod. This was the first night where everything was going right for the Leafs this season. Jack Campbell getting a shutout. He just deserves that from so many different angles, and I'm sure it'll continue to fuel his great season. And then you get the win 4-0. So I think that's the most important part of this, of course. And for that reason, I got to go A+. It checked all the boxes for me.
Man, I think I may just be a little bit harsher on this one, and it's for no reason other than I think we can still see like better games from this team as things go on. I feel like throwing in, not to diminish your mark, but throwing an A+ out on a Vegas team that, and it does contradict a little bit what I said in terms of how you can only play who's in front of you, but a Vegas team that is a little bit depleted. I think if you put up a 4-0 win against, say, Tampa on Thursday night in the same fashion, then I would sit here and convincingly say A+, but I'm going to go with an A, not too far off. It's more of just that just suffocate them a little bit more in the third period. Otherwise, and I still really don't even have that many complaints. It's more of just there's some things to tune up. You see a few opportunities where Vegas has on odd man rushes. I think you can eliminate some of those chances and just kind of give those up a little less frequently, and things will start to head in the right direction. And you did say it's pretty much the perfect game. You're right. I'm just absolutely nitpicking here, kind of saying let's have the perfect game to get the A plus, which it will very, very hard because it's absolutely rare in hockey. But I'm gonna go with an A on this win tonight. This win tonight does take us to 5-4-1, fourth in the Atlantic, thanks to the Maple Leafs win over the Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings loss to the Montreal Canadiens. So we are now sitting at fourth, but we have some big games coming up. We play the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins in our next couple of games. It'll be some absolute measuring stick games. For more analysis, for more breakdowns, for more news on the Toronto Maple Leafs, make sure you like and comment on this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Goody and I are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe now. Every subscriber along the way counts. We greatly appreciate your support to this point and all your support going forward. And Leafs fans, we will see you guys after the next game, Thursday, November 4th at 7 p.m. against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Things are looking positive. The big boys were back. Jack Campbell gets himself a shutout. Leafs fans, it's exciting. Keep a leafing.
Signing off.